Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show. Today, we are filming much earlier, and we are going to be doing a craft.
No.
Why is that picture so?
Tonight we are painting the Ral Partha Dragon of the Month, the Mecha Dragon.
The Dragon of the Month is a Dragon of the Month?
That is correct. We have already assembled it and given it some base coats with spray paint, Krylon I believe, the metallic blue and the silver, and it's turned out a lot better than when we've painted some plastic miniatures where the paint ends up being sticky and leaving fingerprints, and
You should not doing that.
not doing any of that. It turned out great. This was not as difficult as you might believe. It had some issues assembling it using pen vise techniques and epoxy instead of super glue, although I did use a little bit of super glue.
Was the epoxy better?
The epoxy is much stronger, but it takes a lot longer and you got to hold it in place. But to facilitate that and make it easier, I used a little bit of super glue so that I could basically go do other things, because I didn't have all night to sit and hold, like, for example, the wings in place.
Yeah.
The body section, that was easy. I pinned it, epoxied it, and it held together rather nicely. We did not put this particular piece on yet, because as you'll notice, the eyes are a little covered and hard to get to when you put that horn sort of helmety thing on. So we'll super glue that on at the end, but it'll just make it easier to get into the facial details. And once you show them the paints you're going to be using?
We will be using the gold for Vallejo.
No.
Not Vallejo, I meant
That's
Reaper.
a Reaper.
And then these two,
This is actually
metal...
Dragon Gold, appropriately enough.
A gunmetal blue, which we've used many times and will continue to use every opportunity we get to.
Is a fun color.
And this one, which we haven't used as much, a Vallejo silver.
And it's a very, very, very interesting version of silver, so it'll give it, because this metallic silver here is the perfect silver. It's almost chrome. Comes out nice.
Chrome.
It's nice and shiny.
It pretty much is chrome once you give it
a clear coat.
Yeah.
Which we will do at the end. There are a
this
couple
is
little...
the closest thing. I actually originally got it to be a metallic white, but when I used it on one of the
Templars.
Templar.
Mutant Chronicles.
It wasn't what I wanted, but it works.
It's an interesting color.
Looking at it makes shining silver look like a dark gray.
And he's got his water cups. He's got his paintbrushes pulled out. He's got some famous Pringle lid palettes ready to go. And what do you want to start with?
I'll start with the gold.
Are you sure? Because you...
Oh yeah, I'll start with blue actually.
We always try to start at the top and work our way down. That way, since he's going to be doing the feet or the claws, gold, it'll just make it that much easier to say, okay, I've done the feet, now I'm done, I'll let it dry.
Yeah.
You got plenty of blue there. Oh, that moved a little. Be careful, whatever you do, do not put any pressure on that little wing there, just like you just did. Yeah, just hold it by the tail or the legs or the chest. Let's straighten that out. It's getting caught.
There's a slight problem with using something this heavy. It's not going to affect me that much, hopefully.
Yeah, this is probably
hopefully it doesn't dry.
The first big metal miniature you've ever painted. You painted some small Reaper miniatures, but never anything this big. We were talking about dragons earlier today, and for you old timers there, I once painted the Archive Emperor Dragon, which is possibly the biggest dragon miniature ever made in metal. It was massive.
What's the biggest one ever made in plastic?
The biggest one in plastic is probably the Reaper Bones miniatures from the Dragons Don't Share, or the Dueling Dragon set that they made. It's two dragons fighting out over a mountain top. It's a neat piece. They're pretty big dragons. Reaper has made some pretty large dragons, larger than the Whiz Kids gargantuan dragons, I would say. Not by much, but they're still pretty big. And, you know, I've given up on Reaper dragons after the last couple
Meat and
of ones.
bones.
Yeah, the bones, yeah. Metal, Reaper metal, top notch every time. Never had any complaints about anything Reaper's done in metal. Their decision to go to the white bones plastic was, understandably a wise decision for them, but
At the time.
for the consumers, they just droop and bend and wilt under their own weight, even though it's not that much weight because of the kind of plastic. It's just
Which is why we talk so much about how Bones Black is.
so much better. Yeah, we'll never. I don't think there are a few monsters you can get in the Reaper original line that won't crush under their own weight.
We do have some though.
We do have some that I will have to replace.
Well,
I'm even worried
don't.
about the Hydra. To be honest.
I'm not.
It seems to have been holding up the test of time.
Its position, like the
Yeah,
pose being whatever you call it
What
when
it
an
is,
animal
yeah,
has four legs.
Yeah, it should, and because it's the biggest Hydra, I think it's the biggest Hydra miniature out there, other than some Independents and some 3D printed Hydras out there. I don't really know of a better Hydra miniature, and Hydras have always been one of my favorite monsters since I was a little kid. Breeding Hercules and things like that, just, a dragon with more heads and, less intelligence is just always fun. Yep, that's already starting to take shape, buddy.
One thing I don't like is that the gunmetal blue is a bit green.
You just have to go over it a second or third time.
No, that's just the color.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was watching Sam Lands earlier this afternoon, and the rule of 3 is something we're going to have to implement as soon as possible. That being 3 coats of paint when you can. Some paints don't allow you to do that very well. They're too thick, especially some Army Painter paints. But the Reaper and Vallejo, I don't see a problem with doing that as long as you don't pour out too much on your palette and it doesn't dry too quickly. Which right now we're still dealing with 100-degree weather up here.
It cools down, then gets really hot, then it cools down again.
Yeah.
Gets really hot, but then it cools down probably because air, water, and it evaporates.
What are you doing there?
I was covering some scratches.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there were a few little areas that I wasn't happy with the way they came out.
And then we got
Especially on that little backpack thing that holds the wings in place. I noticed there was a little scratch.
Yeah, there's a lot over here.
Yeah, it was.
Then I am just flattening.
That is one of the issues with metal miniatures, especially lead. The metal is so soft that you look at it wrong and you can get a.
Is this lead?
No, it's not.
That's what
It's
I assumed.
actually. It doesn't say, but I know it's not lead.
It doesn't feel like lead.
It doesn't say.
The main reason why I'm asked.
Yeah, I
so
was looking
sprayed.
a couple of days ago at eBay looking for some of the other Dragons of the Month from Ral Parth that I don't have. Excuse me, the only ones I actually have are the Mecha Dragon. But there were a couple of Dragons of the Month I liked. The Ghost Dragon. There's a Cyborg Dragon. There's a Frankenstein Dragon. A
Think this
Warrior
is good
Dragon.
for the blue?
Um,
So you're going to keep this purely silver?
The whole neck. You're not going to do any of the neck upper pieces in blue. I don't. Yeah, I think you're good not doing that. Put that in the cup if you're done with it.
And I dropped it. Also, I'm not.
You're gonna have to go back over when the paint dries. Sometimes you'll notice that you missed a spot.
Yeah.
And so far, I really like that.
Please.
I honestly, I thought the little guy was going to paint this in reds and golds, and he totally surprised me going with blues and silver.
And gold?
Yeah, and gold. Put that in the water if you're done with it.
Oh,
Yeah.
if the water was there.
And you get your regular water and your mistake water, just in case. Definitely gonna have to teach you how to squirt smaller droplets of
That's
paint.
much smaller.
Yeah,
that one.
the blue is definitely gonna go to waste.
I can do a second coat.
Yeah, I was totally convinced he was going to go with a sort of a regular Iron Man theme, using the red contrast over gold and.
I'm probably gonna use something like that on the Clockwork Dragon if I repaint it.
Or we just get another one. There's no reason to repaint it.
Well,
it depends. I mean,
it'll be less of a repainting and just adding to it.
right, because I don't know if you guys remember when we did the WizKids Clockwork Dragon. I took a lot of time milliputting all the little stitching and what have you on the wings. They were made to look like they were sewn together pieces of leather or some other fabric, and it just made the overall dragon look really mixed matched. It looks like a super high tech dragon until you look at the wings, and then the wings look like they were made by Leonardo da Vinci. You know, sewn together with leather and twine and what have you, and it just didn't look right. So I used milliput to cover all those gaps and all the stitching, and made the wings just look like they were just some sort of high tech fabric.
I think that I should do those white first. Of the blue spots.
Where? Oh, on the wings?
Yeah.
A little late for that now. We'll just do a second coat.
Yeah.
Or a third. You know, I thought about that earlier, and then I just forgot to get the white paint out for you. And you know, it's so close to white that a second and third coat will get you what you want. It is usually better to undercoat things with white when that's what you're in fact going to do. But overall, this has been a really fun dragon. It was nice to get back to pinning and pin vicing and working with actual metal. The theme and trend lately in the past decade or so of moving away from metal miniatures is not something I've enjoyed. The sturdiness and the longevity of white metals is just something, you know, I've always preferred over plastic, especially, you know, again, Reaper. Even the Bones Black, it's
just standard plastic.
No, it's not even as good as, you know, Archon's plastic.
Archon's plastic is
super dense, super tough, or even Games Workshop's plastic. They just, you know, they go all out. You know, they're not paying for the metal anymore, so they might as well use a quality plastic. You know, like the model car we got. That's the same kind of plastic. It's just thinner because it's an automobile instead of a Dreadnought or a Necron or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just good. You know, it's just better plastic, and the stuff Reaper uses, even the Bones Black.
Yeah, it's not perfect.
It's still kind of bendy. It's
just superior in every way to original Bones.
Oh god, yeah. I wish they would just transition completely out of the white and go into the black, but I don't know what the process is for that.
It'd probably be kind of expensive.
Well, to me it seems like they just, you know, change the nozzle.
Slowly?
You know, just change, you know, whatever they're filling it with. You know, just pour that particular plastic into a different.
Oh yeah, but they still need to sell what they have left.
Oh, absolutely. But they make everything. Yeah, that's quite a bit of gold also.
Yeah, but I figured that. At least this is. I'll be able to use this. No, I'll use this.
It already looks like a totally different dragon
And which?
than what we started with. You know, I mean, I did actually get to do a lot of the work on this. I won't lie.
I mean,
You know.
all the spray painting was you, but at the same time, the spray painting. Also the.
Did you forget these wings in silver?
No, it's just I realized. Well, I could go back and do them.
Yeah, let's not waste that silver paint. Go ahead and finish up with the gold, and then move back on with the red silver because it looks kind of weird. I'm like, is that a light reflection or what's going on there? You gonna do the chin horn?
Yeah, I don't want to waste the gold.
No, it is. That's what I meant with gold.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking about this dragon. You know, it'd be great to use for Giant Monster Rampage.
That's correct. That is very true, actually.
It's just like, who gets to use it though?
We have other things.
Yeah, that's true. I could bring out King Squishy or something like that.
Oh my god, I completely forgot that game existed.
That was my version of Cthulhu in the. Was it Monster Legends we used to play?
I don't remember what it's called.
Was it Monster Legends?
I don't know.
Yeah, we used to play that. We also used to play the.
Anyways.
What was that Star Wars game we used to play? It was the same game?
I don't know. Anyways, I think I'm almost done with the gold. And.
We're going to go back to the silver and we can call it a night.
Painting.
What about the other feet?
I know, we'll go back to that later. Because you said to do that last.
Oh, yeah.
And I realized I probably should have done that last.
What color are you going to paint this one right here?
Silver.
Oh, okay.
Just entirely silver.
Okay.
Which I'll just do now.
Yeah, see, it doesn't. The blue isn't coming through that much. I mean,
It still is.
It's a little darker.
It still is, but it's the first coat.
Yeah.
I feel like for this one I might be able to do a bit more touch-ups. Because I've been a bit better at it.
Yeah, well, I hope so because, you know, it's your paint job.
I know.
Even though I did the spraying, and it's something he needs a little bit more practice with is spray painting.
And there's also another issue.
What's that? Oh, okay. School, things like that.
No, I wasn't talking about that.
Yeah, but, you know, I did a lot of the work, you know, while he was at school, the filing and things like that, and getting it ready for him. Let him do the fun stuff. I'll do the heavy lifting, as it were. Okay.
I still like putting the things together.
Oh, absolutely. For me, that's still one of my favorite parts is the assembly.
Yeah.
I kind of, you know, tend to look for miniatures that need assembly versus things that are already done. It's just it's almost like they take the fun out of it when they, you know, give.
But at the same time, it's kind of you probably don't want to need to assemble every single thing.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, especially like skeletons. As much as I like them and like the ability to put them together in, you know, kinds of comical poses, like in Army of the Dead. It's
or whatever it is we have now.
Well, no, the movie. In the movie Army of the Dead, the skeletons are kind of humorous.
You know, why is there always like individual
hair? That just because we buy cheap paintbrushes.
There's a problem with that. We
Yeah.
probably shouldn't buy.
Also, one little thing. I don't know if you can see it. I'm not going to touch. But this edge right here, if you can get that will make it look a lot better.
Oh, that's very hard.
I know. But it won't be if you tilt the dragon nose down.
I was going to do that.
As old guys, we know all the tricks.
But it's still going to be hard.
You can always just touch back over any brushing with blue.
Right. No, I'm not going to say that.
It's looking sharp. You know, we have to still decide about this dragon.
What?
The base.
Oh yeah. We have not done that yet.
We could use that wooden base we were going to use for Lava Lord, or
You still need the base.
Or we can get another one if they still have them. Or I could just get one of the Reaper bases, the sort of old bases, and we can really, you know, dress it up with some. You know, I was thinking of trying to get some like micro machine, little tiny little cars and stuff to make it look like it's, you know, Godzilla stomping all over, you know, puny humans. But then again, I know we'll probably end up using it more for like 28mm scale. So
yeah.
Which also made me think of, you know, what would be really cool for this dragon? A rider.
There's a problem with that though.
What's that?
I don't know actually.
Where would you put the saddle?
Yeah.
I would make it part of that backpack thing that it has.
Probably.
If you were going to repaint this, what color would it be?
No.
With the second and third box we have?
Oh, I don't know. I think if we were to do those, you should at least keep one of them unopened.
Oh, really? So you get to paint 2 and I get to paint 0?
No, I don't feel like painting. I don't feel a need to paint in a second one.
Okay. Because I do.
You haven't painted any.
Yeah, well, I sprayed it, but, you know, and
that's
if we had done it just a little bit different, we could have done this whole thing with just rattle cans.
Yeah, but
Very little, you know, maybe some pin washes on the face and things like that.
and maybe some neons. Do you think that's? No, I'll still do. I'll still do some silver.
Yeah. In this heat, some of the like those front wings on the left side, you might be able to do that with it.
Oh, what's wrong? Almost dipped in the wrong paint.
That would not be good.
Yeah, that'd be kind of bad.
That's a little thick in that one corner.
It's because I thought I could do something, but I ended up just spreading the blue paint that was there.
That's what mistake brushes for.
Yeah, but then I would just mess everything else up.
Oh, okay.
Because there was wet paint there of blue,
Oh.
and I didn't know that it was.
Somebody said nope. The other one.
What, this one?
The little cup.
Oh yeah.
Little cup is mistake brush. Big
Right
cup
as
is-
why does you mention it? I just started to use it.
Don't worry about how much water. The more water you use on a mistake, the better it resaturates the paint and how it makes it.
Okay, I think that's good enough.
Yeah, now you need to get the water off so it doesn't run into the silver. It will dry, but you know, we don't want to wait around for that.
Is that enough? Or
Yeah, I
just
think-
water?
Yeah, I think you're good. Just take your time, you're not in a hurry.
Yeah.
And then next week he will go and do the washes, which will mostly be some black.
I think that's enough for today with the silver and gold. And
Yeah,
silver
yeah,
and blue.
yeah. Go
And
on
then
to
finish the gold.
finish up the gold feet, and next week we will do the washes. Maybe some gray, maybe some blue, definitely some black. Yeah, hold them from not by the wings. Hold them, yeah, by the tail. The tail and the body are the strongest glue joints. You'd be hard pressed to break that body in half again at the glue line. And to pin it, I just used a bit of paper clip and my pin
I
vise
actually
drill.
forgot what pinning is.
That's where you drill a hole in two sides of
Oh,
the
no, I
thing
know.
where you're going to glue it together, and then you take a piece of wire or metal, usually a paper clip, and stick the wire in between the two pieces to act like
Yeah, I
a.
know. I remember.
Just letting the
People who
watching
don't
at
know,
home, in case they don't know what pinning is. One of these days I'll have to do a video on it.
which I forgot.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't want to paint that because then it'll stick to the table. Yeah, you don't want to paint the bottom sides of the feet. They will definitely stick to whatever you put it down on. Sometimes that's not so bad if it's just a piece of paper, a napkin or something. You can just wet it and tear it off. But try to avoid that if you can. Yeah, see, that gold really looks good with that blue.
Yeah. I'm gonna do some silver on the legs though. But only in small areas, or you'll see when I'm done.
Right, like those spikes in the back legs or something?
Those will probably be gold actually.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no, they won't be because they're part of
Yeah,
something that isn't that.
maybe the knee joints or something.
Maybe actually.
Be careful putting any weight on that horn.
That's true.
It's you know, the foam boards we use are pretty squishy, but that is a tiny little horn that could easily be bent, and once a horn gets bent, there's really no fixing it. You can try, but you'll always be able to see the bend.
Yeah. Because that's...
And before you finish with the gold, do you want to do any gold on this head piece?
No, not maybe, but not yet.
Okay, you can always do that off camera.
Yeah. So is that... Yeah?
That's up to you, bud. You got a hot date?
Anyways.
Brush in the water.
Oh yeah, I probably should have done that with all of these.
Yeah. Don't worry, folks. We won't leave them in the water very long. Let's get a little glamorous shot of that bad boy. This is a really cool dragon. Definitely up there in our top 5, I think.
Yeah, it makes me want to go in and fix all the issues I have with
The Mecha Dragon?
clockwork.
Yeah, that's what I meant, the clockwork dragon.
No, he's growing.
What is he growing? No kidding. Oh, there's somebody passing by our house, folks.
So...
Ignore him, we always do too.
Yeah. Well, no, not all the time. Half the
I
time.
was just teasing. So there you have it, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed this little painting excursion. I hope you had as much fun as the little guy did. I know I had fun watching, and try not to be too jealous. We will be back here Tuesday with a really special review. Hope you guys tune in to watch us watch something. Hopefully we're going to enjoy it. We hope you will too.
Yeah.
And until then, have a
2
great
days.
week. 2 days, I know. We've actually had it for a couple of days already, and I'm just haven't opened the box yet, John. I'll let you know right before we do, so you can watch us, see what you sent us, because we really can't wait to see it.
Yeah,
But
so we'll probably do that.
Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
We're not going to open it before Tuesday. We never unbox before we unbox. That's cheap. So
I was going to say something.
go ahead, say.
No, I can't.
Oh, okay. So there you have it, folks. Have a great weekend. Thanks for stopping by. We love you guys, and we will see you real soon.
Anyways, yeah, good night. And we will see you next video, which I'm guessing